It's a very Corey Christmas. I have been looking for this movie for a lifetime, and I finally saw it last night. Special thanks to Mike at Sega CD Universe. Shh. Without Malice is a 2003 Canadian thriller starring Corey Haim, Craig Sheffer, and Jennifer Beals, and would be perhaps the best Haim performance from that time. The time I'm referring to is his attempted comeback in the early 2000s upon his return to Los Angeles. And while from what I found it looks like Haim relapsed around this time as well, as it was claimed by locals that he could be seen in the bars until sunup, and apparently needed prescriptions filled abruptly, and it looks like he missed his dog a lot on set. Things must have been rough on Corey, but it would also be very shortly after that he would finally put his demons to rest and spend the rest of his days sober. And with the demons and such Haim was facing, he still managed to give off one hell of a performance here. A performance that, well, couldn't have been easy for him. In the film, Corey plays Marty, a recently paroled recovering drug addict who joins his plastic surgeon brother-in-law on a hunting trip to Canada on the insistence of his wife. And when they get to hunting, the arrogant asshole brother-in-law, played by Craig Sheffer, and Marty get more than they bargained for. And a young, hard-working, underwritten park ranger is on their ass. The recovering drug addict angle is very interesting here, especially to see Haim do it. We see him put in a situation where a few years before, Haim's character probably wouldn't have cared about the events that happened here. But with his newfound set of morals, he is torn between returning to jail or keeping in a deadly secret, all at the worst time, when he's trying to get sober. And Craig Sheffer nails the role of the asshole brother-in-law here, being the polar opposite of Haim's Marty, never facing a consequence in his life, really, but also being torn between ruining his reputation or keeping in a deadly secret, which seems to be no problem for him, as the pair find themselves involved in a park ranger's sudden disappearance, and in a race against time to keep their freedom and hide their secret.
What the hell was that back there? I mean, you're talking about me like I wasn't even there, Paul.
Marty, in case you didn't realize it, I saved our asses, all right?
Jennifer Beals is great here as usual, although as I said, she is a bit underwritten. This is a TV movie after all. And aside from some very bad overdubbing, Jennifer Beals' character is another addition that really makes it feel like a TV production. But she is good in it. And this film kind of gives off Fargo vibes, by being a park ranger investigating a small town murder mystery and such with snow everywhere and whatnot. And I think she could have benefited from like a quirk in her character, aside from being gung-ho, do-right, goody-goody. But, opportunity missed, I suppose.
This was definitely not an accident. Which is why the police are on their way, and why we should find those guns. I'd hate to see Marty here get charged with illegal disposal of firearms for no good reason. California having a 3 strikes and you're outlaw and everything.
What?
I heard one guy down there got life for stealing a slice of pizza.
But for being a TV movie, this is one hell of a thriller. Director Rob King is a master of this kind of stuff, and here it's no different. There's even like a Hitchcockian score and feel throughout the film. And the reveals and such, as far as the violence or malice goes, they're all done so subtly and you get really put in their situation most of the time. And when it's crunch time, they got to get the hell out of Canada, but little things keep them there. And it really works. Every time you feel like they're just about to get busted, and they don't, and it's like, it's an effective movie. I wish it had a bigger budget. It really could have used it because although it, feels like a TV movie, a lot of times you forget that it is, but overall it's just so obvious. In fact, Corey gives a film-grade performance here, and it's clear that he was working hard for that comeback. You gotta hand it to Haim. That's an actor right there. As I said, we get some Fargo vibes throughout, and some aspects we saw later in the superb thriller, A Simple Plan. I think, the snow setting is a tough nut to crack as far as these crime thrillers go. Even though there's a surprising variety of these movies. But Without Malice was ahead of the curve, and I can't help but think that inspiration was given from this movie for a lot of those types. Although A Simple Plan being published beforehand and such. Without Malice earns its keep, and it works as a double feature with A Simple Plan, in my humble opinion. The film just kind of got forgotten, even though it did get great reviews. Now, I know I'm being a little vague here as far as the plot and such, because I don't really want to spoil the whole thing for you. It is a cool movie. Although it doesn't matter much, as the film is basically impossible to find. You know, while it did get a VHS release and even a DVD release, what can I say? Their prices are inflated. But one way you can see it is by joining the Staunch Movie Club, where upon joining, you can join me, Alex Staunch, in viewing some of the most obscure and hard-to-find pictures ever forgotten. For a short time only. Join now, just email me at derrytigers@gmail.com with a short message of your choice. And be sure to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to Staunch TV. Then you can join me and watch the long-lost Without Malice this Christmas Eve. Join now and receive an extra link to another very, very obscure Corey Haim film. Can you guess which one that is? Join to find out. Also, don't forget to go subscribe to Lonely Tree Entertainment and Sega CD Universe. Thanks, Mike.